Versatile Mage. Chapter 569. 6 villagers were erased. Mo Fan was using both his hands. The purple lightning and blazing red flames intertwined with one another. He was now able to cast a fire burst right after completing a lightning strike. With the strength of his 4th tier spells, he could basically kill the servant class zombies instantly. Mo Fan arrived before a villager whose legs were bitten off by the zombies and snapped furiously, "Damn it, what did I tell you all, don't fucking panic." Mo Fan knelt down and carried the villager, who was covered in blood, on his back. The young man's face was covered in a mix of mucus from his nose and tears. His body was shivering in extreme pain. "Hold on, the healers at the city can treat your legs," said Mo Fan impatiently. Mo Fan was annoyed, too. The truth was, the zombies were not even that strong. He alone could easily wipe them out. The villagers were only scaring themselves. Those who were not attacked simply ran out of Mo Fan's range, resulting in lots of casualties. Even though he was used to seeing people dying, it still did not feel great witnessing so many innocent villagers losing their lives. Mo Fan vented his anger on the zombies that had come out in the day to murder the villagers. He could have blasted the zombies into pieces with fire burst alone, yet he had the urge to use his intermediate lightning spell instead. Forks of lightning descended from the sky. The zombies who were still targeting the villagers were shredded into pieces, turning into blood mist sprinkling in the air. After the lightning blasts, Lu Ru came up to Mo Fan with 2 other villagers. She observed the surroundings and said, "I only managed to save 2 of them. The kids are fine, though." Mo Fan glanced at 3 other villagers that were also injured beside him. He was still carrying the young man whose legs were bitten off on his back, too. He glanced at the corpses across the place and uttered a sigh, "Let's go, we tried our best." Mo Fan and Lu Ru handed the villagers whom they saved over to Su Xiaoluo. Su Xiaoluo had brought some medicine along, and she barely managed to save their lives. The crowd sat together. No one spoke. The atmosphere grew very heavy, with a few kids sobbing in fear. After all, those who died were their aunts and uncles. Lu Ru sat beside Mo Fan. She nudged him softly and whispered, "I stumbled into an undead kid." Mo Fan raised his eyes, signaling Lu Ru to continue. Lu Ru quickly told Mo Fan about her experience with the undead kid. Mo Fan's expression turned stern after hearing her words, and he subconsciously glanced at the chief not far away. For some reason, he kept feeling that the chief was somehow involved. It was strange that the undead would attack them in the day. "Should we investigate it?" asked Lu Ru. "There's nothing to investigate. We'll escort them to the ancient capital, and they'll do whatever they want." Mo Fan was not in the mood to involve himself in the mess. They should be safe at the ancient capital," Lu Ru nodded. A while later, the undead stopped appearing. After taking a look at the sky, Mo Fan felt like they should not continue wasting their time here. If the undead could come out in the day to attack them, hiding in the rock barrier was definitely not the way to go. They had to make it to the ancient capital before it turned dark. Who knew if a huge bunch of undead would ambush them at night? The group continued on with their journey. This time, Mo Fan simply had the urge to tie the villagers together with an iron chain so they would not run wildly if something were to happen again. After the previous ambush, everyone had acknowledged Mo Fan's strength, since none of them were blind. They were relieved after witnessing Mo Fan's ability to kill the zombies instantly with a single spell. The day gradually turned dark along the journey. Luckily, they could finally see the magnificent walls on the horizon under the gloomy clouds. Since it was still daytime, the walls still had magicians patrolling the area. The group uttered relieved sighs after seeing someone alive. They quickened their pace and headed into the city. As they arrived at the entrance, a group of battle mages was on duty. "Are you all from Hua village?" A battle mage looked at him, amazed. Yeah, I'm the chief." Xe Sang took out a stamp symbolizing his identity as the village's chief. "The whole city has been discussing the villagers outside the city, spoke up another young battle mage. Discussing us? Why's that? Hong Jun glanced at him, confused and curious. The battle mage smacked his lips and handed a newspaper to the chief. The chief received it and immediately saw the headline. 6 villages in the Xianqi area were wiped out by the undead. There are close to no survivors. The chief was dumbfounded. He initially thought only their Hua village was invaded. Little did he know, the rest of the villages were already destroyed. Due to the lack of communication, they would not know the truth if they had not come to the ancient capital. On a side note, the chief was even more confused after learning the news, as if he had failed to come up with an explanation for something. We'll be going, you all should settle down yourselves. Mo Fan felt even more suspicious seeing the chief's reaction. He did not want to be involved in the mess. Thank you, you're already such a strong magician when your age is just about the same as Hong Jun's, said a woman to Mo Fan excitedly. Su Xiaoluo had recovered from her astonishment after learning the news about other villages. She quickly went up and expressed her gratitude to Mo Fan and Lu Ru. Without your help, we might have ended up the same as the other villages. Thank you so much. As Mo Fan was about to leave, he suddenly recalled a problem. Zhang Xiaohou only knew Su Xiaoluo. Mo Fan was planning on bringing him to Xinxia and letting her try to heal him, yet the idiot did not want to go anywhere. He only wanted to stay with Su Xiaoluo, acting like an unreasonable kid. Mo Fan was left with no choice. He said in a helpless tone, I'll let the military know about his condition. I'll let him stay with you for now. Since they had made it to the ancient capital, Zhang Xiaohou should be fine for the time being. It was also a good place to leave him to Su Xiaoluo since she could take care of his injuries, too. The people from Hua village left with Hong Jun. It was likely that the Magic Association would arrange a place for them to stay. It was something Mo Fan did not need to worry about. Mo Fan tried to contact Zhang Xiaohu's instructor Fei Zhao, yet he was told that Fei Zhao was on a mission. It would take at least a day for him to return. Mo Fan did not feel at ease, knowing that Zhang Xiaohu had not recovered his memory nor returned to the army. He simply decided to stay a few more days in the ancient capital to settle the things on hand. Where are we going? Lu Ru stayed with Mo Fan. She was obviously curious about the ancient capital and kept looking at her surroundings. I'm going to meet the people from my hometown, said Mo Fan. There are people here from your hometown? Asked Lu Ru. I'm sure that a few other cities have people from Bo City, too. That's true. After the calamity, the people from your city were sent to live in a few different cities. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.